Malphites, they still have the Zyra and the Ladder. Whereas on the other side, Okanagan, pardon me, Gold, more standard. They've got a decent front line for this Jinx and good catch up with the Ari Viego. So kind of two all-rounder comps to come through. I think a lot of it will be about shutting down Vlad on the side of Oklahoma and Jinx on the side of Okanagan.
I mean, we already see 3 kills to 2 as we're about 6 minutes into the game, so we do apologize, but we're going to watch this as we get an immediate call from Cassante going in with those blades of whirling, and that's going to be a problem as Windy is not going to enjoy that one. Sliced into bits, turned into granite, as they're not going to fight. Mid lane is now going to have Flyback joining in, but the top side is still a 1v2. Fake enemy turning into a real enemy as they run for their lives. Zoria saying, I still want a little bit of a taste, but this Kiana is going to force them off.
And taking a quick look at the kills across the board as well, it's 4-2. Oklahoma finding kills on almost every member except for Flyback. That Vladimir was saying will become a skilling problem. And for Okanagan on the other side, the kills have been onto fake enemies. So it feels like another game where the Viego kind of has to pop off at least the early to mid lanes. Sure flame.
Yeah, and on that bot side, that was a burn. I haven't seen this combination in quite some time, but it is very potent at times. So great pickup by Killering.
And that's the pick we're talking about, especially with this Jhin and this Zyra. Level 6 for the Jhin is particularly potent because the curtain call allows you to open up from an incredibly far distance and allows the Zyra to kind of pull up. It pretty much guarantees that you'll be able to land the ultimate as well.
As we finally get a little bit of a moment to breathe, we can take stock of what the global game is saying as well. We have a Mountain Dragon to come up here, so both teams have that to fight over. Z-Struck in the mid lane is still trying to battle their way forward and get a little bit of wave pressure down. But overall, that 2.9k lead sitting in Oklahoma's pocket may or may not be used here shortly. I say that, I wanted to catch my breath, but the jungler is now meeting in the mid lane. This is going to be a little bit of a test as Flyback gets out with the pool.
It's okay, because it's a Vladimir Orbital, so if it's Okanagan moving first, Sanguine Pool gets away. His flash is about to come up as well, so you know Zoria just has to cover for a very, very short moment before Flyback will be safe in Orbital. Hopefully we have a moment to talk a little bit about teams, because we've seen Okanagan Gold on stream for the last couple of weeks. Do we have time?
I don't think so, because that's going to be the catch, but that's the perfect, the ultimate works so well. Supreme display of talent, routes 1. Are you kidding me, Zoria? Now we get to see on this top side, Odinson trying to get their way out, but the Malphite's going to do wonders. A couple more slash works and a flash under the tower. Windy coming out here. You said the team that we watched for multiple weeks coming out and showing up in South, trying to get their way back. However, Japoki now realizing they're in trouble. A final snipe, 1 shot, not 4, will take their life.
Jhin can count up to 4. He doesn't only count to 4. He can count 1 as well, and that's all he needed in Orbital. Okanagan, they are on the 4th seed coming in from West A, whereas Oklahoma is 1st seed coming through from the side of West B. So a bit of an uphill task for Okanagan, but they are no strangers to facing opponents. And you can see even now, they're scrapping. They're still looking for action to happen, but Oklahoma, not only are they 1st seed coming out of their group, they did not lose a single game in the regular season. So again, you can see the mechanical skill of this team, and that's on display. That supreme display of talent, yeah, that's not just Zoraya's ultimate ability, that's just generally Oklahoma's default state.
Let's see if they can maintain it though. Playoffs is where it matters 100%, maybe 105 depending, as we're going to see the situation as Flyback is kind of sitting in their own Hextech Alternator already in the pockets. But with this Herald, or not the Herald, the Scuttle being taken, I am kind of wondering how well the rest of the game is going to play out, because this Dragon normally, to me, would be taken. But Fake Enemy is more concerned about getting Japoki ahead. Killering and Monster Summoner are wondering what's happening as they get a lot of good poke down, but it's a split fight. This is a little bit of a difference as the Rocket just takes him down face first. Z-Struck in the mid lane is getting a little bit of a jump, but a flat sword as Killering will get zapped. The follow-through should be given, but a flash under the tower leaves them safe. A dance among dances across the rest of the Rift.
And I'm shocked Monster Summoner actually got caught by the very edge of that Chomper. I thought he actually managed to get around it. And because that Chomper latched on to Monster Summoner, all the follow-up CC came through. So for Oklahoma, they're playing on an edge of a knife. That time they slipped, got out. And the kill going over to Japoki is actually pretty significant as well, because this Jinx has been targeted, down 2 kills, down some CS already. Getting some gold into it is the most important thing. That Jinx is going to be the carry for Okanagan as we approach the team fight phase of the game.
And I'm kind of wondering how they're going to try and get more safety for Japoki, because right now, most of Okanagan's wards are currently stationed around Z-Struck, trying to make sure that Z-Struck has a way into this dragon if necessary, and completely denying Oklahoma's vision there. So Oklahoma may rule the bot side, but the dragon will be taken by Fake Enemy.
Yeah, able to get in there, steal that one away. Now, because it does get taken at 11, although it's worth noting the dragons will be delayed here for either of these teams, especially the Soul. So there's still a lot more dragons to fight. We've seen teams also opt to give up the first 2 drakes and then start testing for the 3rd one. And for Oklahoma, again, with their composition, I don't expect them to be trying to play slow and look to scale up. Vlad is an insurance policy. I think what we saw when we first got into this game, the chaos in the bot lane with the repeated jungle ganks, that I think is more likely to be the pace of this early mid game.
You can see it there, the hover of this Kiana saying, I want a chance, but the catch is so easy on Archer Flame, snuffing out that champion. And now Japoki, realizing they're in a rust spot, a jump over the wall by Zarya means that this tower dive is going to pop up. Don't need the wards, don't need the champion, just a call against the wall. You trade your life, so I'm not sure who really benefits the most, but I think Japoki's going to be happy about that one, at least getting some gold back. Charm in the mid lane, though, as Z-Struck is trying to get some advantages there.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Ahri Vladimir matchup, it gets harder and harder for the Ahri, especially if you choose to go Everfrost instead of Leandros, because Flyback on the Vladimir will get tankier as the game goes on, and eventually Ahri's going to need multiple rotations to cut through. Meanwhile, Vladimir just walks into you. It's not the hardest matchup for the Vladimir. It's not particularly mechanically intensive. And even now, Z-Struck being at about, what, 33-40% health, there is a risk of a dive coming through with that Hemo Plague full combo. And we've seen Vlad do this all the time. It's a drive-by. You just dive, walk out the other end.
Normally that's with, I think, Flash and Ghost to do the drive-by. For right now, Flyback is very obvious when you decide to do so. But that's why it's the relief, right? You're going to go ahead and be safe. However, we do have to talk about the fact that Monster Summoner and Killering had such an advantage on the bot side that they already got first tower at 12.5 minutes. Because of that, we see the rotate towards that mid lane and the Cassante possibly being unleashed into the top or bot. And the Vladimir is going to take the other lane. So this is going to be a shakeup that Oklahoma will be happy to accelerate once again.
Yeah, now with Oklahoma, they do have to be a little bit careful with the Zyra-Gen combo. They're very potent when you're posturing aggressively. But when you're in the mid lane, you have to make sure you're warded up because they're also very, very squishy. And if a charm lands and fake enemies in the area, they can very quickly burst down either part of that bot lane duo. It's land though, and the CC chain begins.
Well, a good charm to slow down the damage, but a jump forward as Z-Struck try to lay some more, realizes they don't actually have the damage, but that's going to be a call as the Encore rips through them all. And look at that, the teleport into the ult, bring in the unstoppable force, as it's a 5-person squad in the mid lane. Okanagan drops so much aggro and only get 2 kills because now you get to see Flyback. Flyback trying to get in the middle, drops the Hemo Plague, might get Archer behind as Zarya looks for a chance behind, and Wimdy is going to try and fight back in the top side. Needless to say, though, it's 2 kills for Okanagan, and Oklahoma doing a little bit of damage control. That's going to be a stop. Odinson getting into the mix of a 1v2, waiting for the rest of the team to follow up, and yes, there they are, but the stun into the Heartbreaker takes their life, and you do grab that soul. But look at that, the raw damage from Japoki. Flyback does get out thanks to the pool, but Fake Enemy is going to give chase. A flash forward, gets a snipe, and now it's a charm into the orb. Z-Struck will finish it off after starting it off in the early stages. What a change as we're now neck and neck.
And Okanagan with the quick collapse. We were just talking about the fact that Monster Summoner and Killering were vulnerable to ganks because they were so squishy, and it wasn't from the flag. So Okanagan just ran it right down mid at them, but they ran so fast that Killering and Monster Summoner could not survive. And the coordination we're seeing from Okanagan has been their greatest tool and asset in facing stronger teams. We've seen this so many times now from them. I'm glad to see that, hey, even here in the playoffs, they're still able to do the same.
That coordination also saving Archer of Flame right there. I mean, you talk about supports flashing to save their ADC. What ADC is going to flash to save their support? Japoki, the gentleman ADC right there.
Now, Japoki has to keep in mind that he doesn't have that for the NECC big team fight. And we've already seen Flyback Zarya willing to throw their bodies in there, blow their own flashes to gap close. So Japoki's helping out Archer of Flame this time. Archer of Flame has to reciprocate because Japoki's going to desperately need help at this time.
I would also like to talk about the fact that Fake Enemy is currently 5-0-2, went for that Kraken Slayer build instead of, I think last game we saw the Bork come out in the Viego, so a little bit of a difference there, a little bit more upfront burst, but I'm very interested to see how much further that goes as well. Dragon coming up in just about 20 seconds. That was a Chemtech Dragon, so as you said, not exactly the best single Dragon, but it is a Dragon, a global objective for the team.
And again, just get out of the way. We are much more interested in the soul of both these teams. Going
Oh my
in
gosh.
Here. That was a prospect.
I saw it. I didn't think that it was going to come out. And then I realized we're also talking about an 04 Archer, now 05, right? So it's like,
And you know, I had called for Archer of Flame to reciprocate. Maybe don't. I just realized how squishy Archer of Flame is that you can't really soak up that much. And really, with this Seraphine, if you're alive, you'll be able to continue outputting shields. It's interesting now because from what we've seen with both these teams, they're great on the front. They're great playing aggressive. Whoever finds the pick is often able to burst out because everybody's so squishy. Now the question is, how well can these teams fend off the aggression? Fake Enemy now stepping up, not just clearing, no backup.
Oh, and the root as well, slowing down the initial charge, and because of that, it grants it to Flyback. No killering, gets a shutdown. What a chance is Zyra doing wonders.
Yeah, and there we go. We have an answer. Oklahoma able to fend off that one at least. Now Killering very, very low on health. A rocket from Japoki might be able to flat out kill them there.
I think that's what they were hunting for, right? Archer was trying to drop him low. Now Japoki looking for that rocket, but you don't even get that chance. Zarya just destroys that Seraphine. What a brutal show. And this is going to happen time and time again, by the way.
Yeah, I can't highlight too. Zarya has a Dark Seal.
Yeah.
Like,
that's just...
You're not even an AP champ, and you're building it anyways, because why not? Like, you're that confident, you're going to be able to pick up kills. I like the Dark Seal as well on Monster Summoner. Again, not an AP champion. But the idea, I think, with this Jhin is that, especially as the game goes on, you are not going to be in the middle of it anyways. So you're going to be able to keep those stacks up. And it's a cheap item just pick up right now. Especially with how many kills we're seeing. We hopped in this game at, what, 5-6 minutes orbital? So it's been... like maybe 10, 11 minutes since then, and we've seen a ton of kills. 23 kills in 18 minutes.
Yeah, we went from 5 to 23, if that says anything. Not just that, I want to say we just got a third one. Flyback just grabbed a Dark Seal of their own. So it's the ring gang coming out. Now, here's the thing, RMC. It only matters if all three of them go ahead and commit to the Magi Soul Stealers. That's when we get excited, right? All three of them are just like all in on this.
I need to check what the AP scalings are on Kiana, if there's any. I think Jin's got it on Curtain Call.
It's on the traps. Oh, yeah. On the traps, you do have an AP scaling. That was a glory day of, I want to say, the Earth days, right?
I don't even know, man, but it's not official. I mean, I can see it if you're that far ahead. Bot lane, I didn't want to highlight those. Z-Shock had to burn the Spirit Rush just to get away from Flyback, and Flyback's just running at you. Sure, you burn Ghost, but Flyback still has Flash.
Oh, and I mean, I think you're going to be safe. Fake Enemy coming in here, but the pool is available. Hemoplague is ready to go as well, but look at the burst. That's going to be a giant snap out, and then another burst behind, and you just watch out. Flyback flying away with a flyby kill into the mid lane to help secure this tower.
Drive-by has been upgraded to Flyby, specifically for Flyback. Oh, that's nasty. Lord. And Monster Summoner now in the mid lane as well, just pressuring in. We're used to thinking of Jinx as a very long-range carry, able to wave clear safely. This is why you pick Jhin, because Jhin actually outranges Jinx to a certain extent. It's not consistent damage, but at least in the 1v1 or the 2v2, it doesn't need to be consistent. If you patch out the Jinx, you saw what it could potentially do to squishy carries.
Potential, though, is not what we want. We don't want a theory craft. We don't want to see potential. We want to see that potential activated. We want to see that damage actuated. That's word garble. Don't repeat that ever. Looking at this, Zarya still sitting at a nasty scoreline as well. Built up that Serpent's Fang to cut through all the shielding coming out. So this Kiana, I was kind of surprised, is starting to be a massive bully.
To be honest, I don't even know if that Serpent's Fang is to cut shield or just Zarya just wants lethality. Just more and more lethality. Just follow it on, because you saw what happened to Archer of Flame mid, right? Or, well, I didn't. I blinked and Archer of Flame died, but I assumed that it was a one-shot coming through from Zarya. More lethality means you one-shot more people, and the only person building armor at this point in the game is Wimdy. So Fake Enemy, Z-Struck, Japoki, they're all equal opportunity targets right now for this Kiana.
Take your choice. Door A, door B, door C, door D. Or door E, all the above. I don't know. That's going to be the call here. As the long range, again, is so frustrating to deal with. Fake enemy dodging out very, very well, though. Still takes the fourth. Drop down to about 30%. It's a pain to deal with. Look at this. I think Fake enemy just came out of base as well. And the fact that Dragon's coming up at 30 seconds, that does not bode well.
Yeah, in fact, I think for the last, 3 minutes so far that we've been watching, Okanagan has just been pinned on their side of the base. They can't step out whatsoever. Now, there are ultimates being blown to make this happen, right? Curtain calls down for the Jhin. The Zyra ultimate as well is down from trying to find the pick onto fake enemies. So Okanagan just needs to play around these windows. Knowing that it's down should be a sign and a signal for Okanagan to say, hey, we need to start pushing out right now. And I kind of think to push out, they need Wimdy here specifically, because anybody else gets caught, dies. If Wimdy steps forward, the unstoppable force can be used as a big tool to take reaction on.
That's just a buffer zone, right? At least for a second or two, but Zariah's saying, I'm not even going to give you that chance. I know exactly where you are. And it's just burst heaven. Archer for the 7th time is annihilated. And you know what? That's going to be a kill on against Zariah. It doesn't matter. You've done your job. Windy now getting shredded thanks to the blades. I mean, this time I still want my granite blocks. I still want my kill. Windy getting dove under tower as the storm reckons their death. Monster Summoner turns into a monster as they are farmed for the game. It is going to be an out by Z-Struck as the burn will finish it off. Killering lives up to their name as that is a 3 for 2.
Hey, Killering highest KDA right now. 5 kills, most kills by Monster Summoner as well. And Oklahoma, they are out for blood. They didn't need to go that hard, Orbital.
No.
Odinshawn could have created enough, could have tanked the turret enough for Monster Summoner to get out, but the call was no. Monster Summoner's in there, and he wanted to stay in there, trying to get as much damage down as possible. That's why we've got 30 kills in 23 minutes, Orbital, as well as all dragons being taken fairly quickly after that first.
I mean, with this Cloud as well, this actually really does benefit Zariah, this champion that we're seeing on the board. Zariah's main goal is just to get in there and assassinate. So this is one of those signs that we really get to talk about, and it's a lot of, well, no, I can't even do that because Flyback's going to get into a fight. Fake enemy realizes they're kind of stuck and doesn't actually want to fight this, waiting for that empowered Q to come. You are slicing through him pretty well, though, and I think Flyback might have bitten off a bit more than get you, waiting for that Q to come back up. But a misread! Misread by Fake enemy as they get killed. It's a 1-for-1 instead of 1-for-0.
For a second there, I expected Zariah to actually hard commit to that chase. You had Herald keeping the wave off your back as well. But instead, it seems like the call is actually for top lane, and then Baron to follow. Does Okanagan know Japoki is starting to base? That would be a very bad idea if it completes.
Oh, they see it. They see it. And it's gone. It's gone. Oh, no. Archer of Flame. You're about to eat your 8th. Windy tries to ult out, but it only gets you in range of the vines of the forest. Killering plants galore. Eats up 2.
Odinshawn lined them up, and Killering knocked them down. And that is going to be free Baron to boot. Z-Struck trying to answer on the other side of the map with the turret. But it's scant comfort. They need a tank. Odinshawn, get in there. All
right, there we go. Odinshawn's finally there. It is going to be a tower taken on the bot side, so a little bit of extra gold in their back pocket, but they're about to be in a very dangerous spot. This Baron is going to toss the likes of Oklahoma straight into the uprights. And it's going to be so, so powerful. Excited to watch. A Baron down at 24.5. And Okanagan wondering how they're going to deal with this onslaught.
I'm wondering how they're going to use this overall, because normally with a Baron buff, you use it to empower the minions. But so far, Oklahoma has shown zero sort of tendency to try and set up a siege. Every time we see them set up a turret, they are not setting up for the siege. They are setting up for the dive. So I feel like with the Baron buff empowering them, they're not going to play it slow. I think we're going to still see dives come through.
I would hope so. I'm actually really enjoying this, right? Oh, you know me. I love blood. I don't care whose blood is spilled. I don't care if you fail the dive. Just go for it, right? I would never actually do that myself because I'm terrified to dive any towers whatsoever. So you will never see me diving in any of my games. Right now, though, Monster Summoner is saying, let's go ahead and power through this mid as a dragon is pretty far away. They don't have to control these sides just yet. It's more ensuring that whichever lane they do decide to push for Oklahoma is well warded and safe.
I'm actually surprised that Monster Summoner is pushing up that aggressively earlier. Killering was out warding, so they were just isolated in the mid lane pretty much. Now Zarya trying to see who they can find in the jungle, but Monster Summoner's been exposed again because of that.
Yeah, you were talking about it before. You were surprised. They did it twice this time, and it's not really worth it. Well, I hate saying it. Zarya getting a kill onto Archer of Flame is not exactly worth when the kill is only worth like 75 gold. Fake enemy is now caught into a dangerous scenario. This is a significantly larger chunk of gold. He go ahead and grab another, and all of a sudden Oklahoma say, we don't even have to siege. We'll just take the tower ourselves.
Wimdy is up. Japoki is still up. And they find backline access. If you can get a reset, there's a chance.
Oh, that was a great rube. Odinshan with a beautiful unstoppable setup. Flyback goes into the pool, and there's nothing that they can do. Charm just was right in front of Killer's face. And it's going to be safety. Oklahoma pull out with all but one, and that's going to be the flash Flyback was ready for. You talked about this assassination, this insurance from Flyback, and it's working wonders.
Yeah, we've hit critical mass. Flyback, the insurance is mature, and Oklahoma is cashing out. The fact that we're talking about Japoki trying to be able to get a reset, and they couldn't. Odinshan, Flyback, they just kind of soaked up the damage and didn't die. And unfortunately for Japoki, you've got IE, you've got Kraken Slayer, great. You don't have Lord Dominic's Regard. You don't have a way to cut through these tanks yet. And the game keeps snowballing over. We are past the 10k gold lead for Oklahoma. That's usually a horrific sign that one team is trying to run away with it.
I would also like to point out it's horrific in another way. We have now had history in this game of 4 members of Oklahoma having bought a Dark Seal. Yes, Monster Summoner sold theirs, but there's a Medjai Soul Sealer with 17 stacks on Killering. Zarya says, hey, help me get some more stacks on my ring. Gets a double stun now running away. TP coming in from the backside. Okanagan are trying to do the best, but they're still sniped from the backside. Monster Summoner says, I am the monster and the summoner and the killer. That's going to be a knocker behind. Zarya takes that side. He's going to go in the audience. The rest team comes in. Wimdy going to try and take that kill. Does, but they might lose their life behind. That is going to be 2 deaths on the other side. Okanagan are running for the hills. Japoki realizing they're in a dangerous spot. Knock back, knock up and down. Monster Summoner finds another. Japoki running for their life, but could be rooted if the lines show. It is a long-range snipe for Oklahoma, and it's an ace for Oklahoma University.
The snipe from mid lane all the way over. Monster Summoner, great map awareness, by the way, was pushing mid and heard the team call, hey, land the snipe, they get it. The kill secures the Nexus as well, and Orbital, what insanity, what madness did we get dropped into?
We hot dropped in the middle of the zone, up like that, but we could see a little bit of difference. Well, I'm going to answer my own question because it is. We see the comment coming out here. It is going to be a little bit of that setup, and we are into game. Thank you so much to all who have been tuning in here today. It is going to be the last chance for Okanagan to stay in this tournament. Oklahoma hoping to put a stamp on their passport to leave this match.
And maybe give us an early night, Oklahoma. I will snap that hard enough. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about Japoki and the sort of Varus, the on-hit Varus build. So specifically against Neela, that's a bad idea because Neela has the ability to ignore projectiles or auto attack specifically, not projectiles, but I should be more specific. So going on-hit Varus would be a little bit counterproductive in this lane. I could see it happening if they can smash the lane hard enough, but I'd be very surprised if we see it happen with the Neela.
Fair enough. As we get underway, we can already see that annoyance coming down here. As Killering is trying to get a lane advantage. And again, we are watching the spot lane with fascination, right? This Anivia coming out here, it's just like, what are we going to watch for? Because it falls into the same bracket in the level 1, 2, and 3, I feel, of a Morgana setup, right? As soon as that stun comes out, you can aggress, you can try to work your way. Other than that, though, it's like, what can you really do? On the top side, again, wet noodle fight between the two.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother looking top lane anytime soon. Bots, those catches my eye.
All right. Well, okay. Well, they want us to watch. Are we going to watch this wet noodle fight? Okay, no, never mind. We're not going to go there. It's okay.
I'm sorry to the observer if I pissed you off. Please stop making me watch paint dry in that top lane. I'd rather watch mid lane where we actually see them poke happen back and forth. The reason why I was kind of fixated on the bot lane especially was the level 2, because Anivia spikes away when she can land her, when she has the E with the Frostbite combo. That's when she starts doing a lot of damage, and we're already seeing the poke come down onto Archer Flame. One thing I want to highlight is ignites for both these supports, and considering how squishy everybody is, there's a real chance to see first blood happen down there just in the straight 2v2.
I mean, with how the mid laners are trading, we're also seeing a chance of death in the mid lane. However, we're going to watch the paint dry on the top side. I mean, Odin really make... Okay, never mind. I lied. Japoki still on the spot side, farming up to a pretty extent. Oh, no. Okay. I'm trying my hardest. I want to watch that paint dry. I think it's Premier Paint there, so, you know.
I don't know, that Premier Paint ain't holding up too well right now. Mana is going low for Odin Sean. It looks like Odin Sean's dominating this, or winning out this lane right now, but I do want to highlight that's a lot of mana being traded. And as a Poppy, you're okay to eat that. It's corrupting pots as well, so Wimdy is more than happy to trade. Soraya has gone up top, though, and bot lane.
Yeah, we're seeing a fight on both ends. Good flash out, but you're charmed up, and because of that, Wimdy is going to get assassinated. Zarya once again getting off to a strong... Oh! Oh! Zarya, talk your talk!
You know what? Hey, Zarya, you deserve that. You managed to make the paint dry. Showed up top, got first blood. Flyback still has flash, not in trouble whatsoever. And Odin Sean, Wimdy TP'd right back into it.
And taking a lot of damage. Remember, when you TP up to the top side, you are giving up HP trades, and maybe you can clear this out, but Odin Sean's going to get a great recall off here. Got the assist, has 23 CS in the back pocket. Now on the bot side, we're getting a little bit of dance. Fake enemy looking towards the spot side, but Killering currently has, I think, everything up and has the egg, so I'm not sure if you can actually fight it all the way out. Taking quite low, though, thanks to the clone, so maybe prep to take that egg.
Yeah, I'm glad that fake enemy correctly recognized that the egg was available. He struck out of mana, has to flash early.
And you can't flash away from the knockup. It looks like Zarya, though, doesn't really want to follow up. Can't in this current stance. So it will be flash for flash in the mid lane.
I was actually wondering if Zarya would commit flash as well, but Charm did land Japoki on their own right now.
All right, they fully backed off. I was waiting. I was like, these players have been fighting so hard, I wouldn't deny putting it past them of just like flash queuing or something.
Yes, Hassling and the Killering does have egg right here. If you want to flash forward, you can land that stun. I think they have enough damage. And that's actually huge for Japoki, that Japoki wasn't killed, because now Monster Summoner and Killering have to go back to base. That's going to be an entire wave they miss out. Japoki secures priority on this drag, and that's a 2-wave advantage. Oh. He didn't actually shove the wave harder than the hit turret.
I was seeing that. I was like, I'm not sure it's actually going to crash like they want it to. It's actually prepped perfectly for Monster Summoner. Yeah. Monster Summoner is going to come back and be like, great, I'm only about 5 CS down. Unlike that massive and maybe even a freeze in their own right. However, the other part of the statement is true. Dragon will go the way of Okanagan. They'll get a little bit of extra ability haste and attack speed. How much that actually is useful will be left up to the player. Z-Struck in the mid lane taking a lot of damage. Archer rotating to get a chance.
The risk for Archer as well is that Yone can actually just dodge right through Shockwave used by Z-Struck to just wave clear right now. There are some weird interactions, and Fate Sealed especially tends to go through CC, so even if you do land the binding, if Buyback starts channeling early, he will be able to scoop up Z-Struck, or potentially Archer of Flame anyways, so you have to be a little bit careful as a Lux trying to roam and gank that mid lane.
I think it's considered a blink, isn't that right? Like the actual charge isn't like a dash or anything, it's considered a blink. So that... You are 100% correct. The CC is just own things. Zarya, though, revisiting this top side as Odin Sean is trying to bait out a little extra, but this mid lane, keep in mind, 0-0 and 0 on both ends, but Flyback getting the better of the trades right now, not only in HP, but getting plates to boot.
And especially and with Zarya as well getting that early kill, I am doubly careful about this mid jungle duo. We mentioned before Zarya and Flyback. They both played on the team last year, so they have synergy already built in. And when you've got 2 bursty champions like that, if the synergy is good, you can 100-0 a person before they have any chance to react. You know? Especially when you're a squishy Archer of Flame. You need the full combo, and Killering didn't have to base into that Luminescent Singularity, but did with some return pull or this triple.
Honestly, considering what we saw in game 1, this is leading into what you were talking about, right, RMC? A little bit more quiet. However, it's going to be a little bit more calculated in the fights. Already a rotate down to the bot side. Japoki flashing away. Zarya still hunting around. If you get that charm, it's going to do a little bit of work. Flash over the wall to try and predict him. Instead, you actually lose out on a lot. You lost your flash and your ult, and Japoki burning double stuns, but no death.
Yeah, and it's huge for Japoki to be able to dodge all of that. Great wall from Killering as well, but unfortunately the pathing, Japoki just able to eke out around the edge. And for this Neela, that's not a good sign. Archer Flame doesn't know. Nobody knows. Wait, what?
And listen, we didn't want to watch the paint dry because the wall just got broken. That was a kill by Odin Sean on the top side. We don't show those kind of deaths. Killering, though, getting a wall in this bot side because this is where the true action's at. Egg is taken. However, that might be a bait. Zarya waiting off on the wings does have that invisibility.
Really good patience and restraint on the side of Chipoki to not step forward, recognize that something's wrong here. The Killering would not be this far up if there wasn't some sort of backup. Z-Struck, though, about to get charmed.
That's going to be a great ult, but it's only going to delay the inevitable. A follow-through with a finish. A sweep of the blade will give Flyback the kill.
And Zarya and Flyback, they right at the edge of turret as well, playing that immaculately fake enemy, though. There's an ambush here. Zarya does not know.
Oh, such a great call. Thumbs up for the kill. However, I think Zarya still got what they wanted out of it, right? Flashing summoners down on the bot side, and then allowing Flyback to get a kill on their own.
Well, Zarya got what Monster Summoner and Killering wanted out of it.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
They lost Raptors as well, unfortunately. And the all-important stack of Dark Seal Orbital. Zarya had one stack. They don't have it no more.
I love how we're still on that fact, by the way. We saw 4 last time, and now I'm like, we better see at least 2. We need to see 2. We need to see all the stacks come out here. But gotta agree, a little bit of a stall out for Zarya on this Evelynn. I'm very curious to see how much further it can go. 1-1-1, went for that speed instead, sword boots being built. But now we get to talk about the stop side, right? Odin Sean getting an early kill, building that Sunfire's cape as soon as possible. This lane matchup now becomes a little bit more interesting to me because it does, as you said before, set up the junglers to maybe make a visit.
One of the annoying things about Ornn as well is when he gets a hit, because of his passive, he can build items in the lane. So, as the lane continues to extend, especially between 2 tanks, it gets worse and worse. Z-Shock taking a beating right now.
Oh my gosh.
That shield was actually necessary. The first tick just saved Z-Shock.
Oh, but that's good flash out, but that's going to be the Fate Sealed, another sweep in a Q, but at least this time you trade out the lives. It was getting close, but Archer Flame, I don't think you want to go this way. This is the danger. It's going to start occurring. The stun into the charm, into the burst. Zarya gets their second, and 2 more stacks on the seal.
Beautiful. Killering has been making this Anivia work. I really didn't think it would, because a max range Frostbite is actually incredibly hard to land, but Killering's been able to do that multiple times now into this Lux, and that's what's made all the difference. And now, bot lane as well, they've kind of evened out. Monster Summoner has actually caught up in CS, and for Chipoki, that's when you're a little bit scared in the 1v1. Neela does a lot of work.
Not only that, the ability to make things work on your own is available. Flash and Ghost is up for Monster Summoner, so it's like, oh man, anything can happen down here. With Dragon currently up, it's actually a look for Zarya for that Herald, knowing that the Dragon could be taken later. It's only a cloud, it's only a little bit of move speed and all, so you can always grab that at a later time. However, for Okanagan, it is one of their win conditions, so they themselves are actually looking to get information around it, dropping multiple wards on their side, pink wards as well.
I'm actually a little bit worried for Okanagan trying to start this Dragon up. He is available for Odin Sean. And when you're caught in that pit as well, Neela and Anivia can actually make your life really, really uncomfortable. If they land a stun, if they land a wall, if they choke you out, it's an issue. Z-Struck? Safe this time. Not going to get cut out.
You say that.
Kind of.
Yeah, you say that, and then Z-Struck eats a good 60%. Dragon is taken, so at least you got that objective. As you said, it was a little bit scary, but with no vision on Oklahoma's side, they opted to give that one up instead. And would you know it, RMC, we have been blessed by the gods of the Rift to get a third Infernal Soul game on the night. That's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, and if Oklahoma didn't want to fight with their dragons before, they do now. And the big question to me is, are they in the right position to do so? Have they hit their power spikes? Monster Summoner picking up the Immortal Shield Bow, that means they are ready in this bot lane to all in. We said it before, Okanagan as a team spike better on their first items, and that means the next dragon fight should favor Okanagan in a 5v5.
Oh, well, you know, that would be true if Z-Struck isn't dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's still. Zariah's having so much fun. Monster Summoner is going to go in. Gets an ult off, but instead gets charmed up. And so you are rooted. You are stuck. Laser goes across the board, and that's going to be a kill. Japoki takes it away. Killing going to try and get some revenge, and does. With the egg still up, you can try and flush out Japoki, but you do not. Instead, with that pressure, you're going to look in towards that mid lane. Fake enemy is going to try and deny, but the tower is going to fall.
And Monster Summoner feeling themselves a little bit too much there.
Oh,
Fake
no.
enemy?
Fake enemy, you tried to fight it out, but you are going to pay. And just like that, Flyback owns this mid lane.
2 charges from the Rift Herald as well. Oklahoma in a happy state. And Z-Struck. I don't want to say Z-Struck's getting caught out because it's a 1v1, but Zaria's making it look like a catch every time they get that poke damage down.
Zaria is chilling. Zaria is so happy about the current state. 4-1-1, 6 stacks on the seal. Still 10 camps to clear, but it doesn't really matter. Odinshan is also getting a very nice setup on the top side. Almost all the plates. I don't think was able to get that 4th, but it's enough, right? The gold lead is now swinging very heavily, and 5K at 14 minutes is an extensive lead that we are going to see prop out. You can even see it there. Kraken Slayer for Flyback, but Zarya, not even a grab on the Mythic or anything. Straight up Medjai's to go.
I don't blame Zaria for doing that. Imagine what they're going to be able to do if they can actually stack that. And keep in mind as well, they've been struggling to kill Zaria as well. The Evelyn gets away, gets to regen, and then gets to re-engage on these pokes. It's kind of similar to game 1 Orbital, where Zaria was on the Kiana, right? Oh, you're dead. Yep. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's exactly like game 1 with the Kiana. Because you're all too squishy. The only person who's surviving Zaria's all-in is probably going to be Wimdy. And where's Wimdy? Stuck in top lane, where Zaria is not.
It's like I'm watching my promos in solo queue, right? Like, the opponents bring out all of their ace one tricks, and I'm sitting there as this Orianna, like, please can I have another bowl of soup? Like, I would just like to play the game, right? This is going to continue time and time and time again. I mean, where do Okanagan actually get to bite back? Is there a chance to bite back?
They've fallen behind quite badly, Orbital. Across every single lane is the issue. I feel like they needed to start grouping up and making action happen earlier. Fake enemy at level 6, we didn't see the Wukong ganks start to come through. And unfortunately, Zaria has been so much more active. So now you don't really have a winning lane. Well, I guess you've got bot. And I think that's the only lane you can really go to if you're Okanagan. So I need to see Fake Enemy get down here, get action happening, because Monster Summoner, he's gonna overextend eventually. That Neela wants blood. We saw Monster Summoner go for the 1v2, and that definitely didn't work out. We've seen Monster Summoner step up anyways in that 2v2.
Let's see if they can make something happen on the spot side. Dragon up in a minute, and you called it earlier. This Dragon is going to invite death, invite fights. You can already see Okanagan respecting this Evelyn pickup. I think every single pink ward that is available to be dropped, which is 5 total, is currently on the map in key locations to ensure that the jungle is warded up. However, that's not going to stop these initial river ganks. You can see it here, Zarya looking for this bot lane dive, if you will, and then pressure into that dragon behind. It's such a scary triangle of death.
So one thing to note as well is a lot of control work. Fine.
Nope. Yeah, that's gonna be death. Flyback might be able to get out. Shield is up. A final wall. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one. I should have. And now we're gonna see the spot lane. Zarya gonna jump in as well, and that's gonna be the stun. Laser comes out, but that is gonna be the kill. Monster Summoner is dead. Finally, the execution comes through. Zarya will get that bite, but in comes the double TPs. Odinshan underneath the tower. You are tanky enough though, so it's not really gonna do too much. Killering ready with the disengage.
Just look at those health bars between Odinshan and Wimty. Odinshan looks 50% tankier just based on the thickness of those bars right now. But bot lane Orbital, we said that's the one place Okanagan can look to make something happen.
And this might be that chance. Odinshan, again, at 50%, is going to get knocked up and slowly shredded. Another TP behind, though, as the wall cuts them all off. The egg is going to go up, but that is actually going to be their demise. The Oin couldn't actually get away, so Flyback is now going to jump in. Without that Heartbreaker, though, you are not going to be in. That Fate Sealed will be unsealed, as Dragon is currently crying out.
2 for 1 on Okanagan on that bot lane. Japoki showing the beast that he can be on this Varus. Has been playing it to pretty much perfection. And actually, Archer of Flame landing that double stun was massive. Japoki getting caught this time, though.
you just had to cast a curse it, right? You just had
He's
to,
alive,
and they're
it's
still
fine.
playing it well. I didn't cast a curse it, you didn't cast a curse it. It's Flyback that's actually going to go down. A Proto Belt in from the side means Orion is able to trade out, but Killing gets sucked into the engage, and now might fall on their own. No egg to survive, and because of that, you can't really fight for it. Meanwhile, though, Okanagan collect on the kills, but the towers in the mid are the big question, and that is going to be Oklahoma pushing for inhibitor tower.
And for Oklahoma, oh, Killering stepped up a little bit too far. I was just going to say, for Oklahoma, they did a great job. They stalled out Okanagan. Sure, Okanagan got the kills, but nothing after. They don't get the turret. They don't get the dragon, and Oklahoma's the one pushing in. Now, they probably equalized the gold between the kills with that turret that Oklahoma took, but the loss of mid lane pressure is going to be massive. We said Okanagan want those dragons. Well, good luck trying to reach them from the mid lane right now.
Not even that. It's not even you're not even able to look at it. It's completely blind, I believe, right now, as Okanagan go ahead and collect. And with Odinshawn down here as well, let's give props there. Has the Radiant Virtue in pocket, as well as that Sunfire. Just a beast, right, at level 12. And then we look over at Flyback, who can quite literally control a 1v2 to 1v3 on their own.
I love that. To me, still is just the champions that were picked. The fact that Okanagan don't have a tank who can survive that Yone burst up front, and the vision line, unfortunately for Okanagan, they're able to pick up Herald. That's going to be good, but the vision line they have set up is primarily defensive. As you mentioned, Orbital, they had 5 control wards down, but none of it was in the river or beyond. So Okanagan can only really respond to what Oklahoma wants to do, and they can't manufacture plays of their own. And against somebody like Yone, who can come in from a fairly long distance as well, those defensive wards aren't enough, and that's why we're seeing Flyback find ways to control everybody with the threat he has of just forcing dives in the back.
Zuria's doing the same here. I love this, right? Just hiding out and making everyone second guess themselves. You can see here now jumping forward into assassination. Laser wolves come out, but it's not going to do too much. Fake enemy is going to get chunked out as well. Zuria says, please give me another stack. I'm at 22. Give me a 4th. Give me that kill. Oh, they're jumping at the wall. They get the kill. Fake enemy denies, and you lose those pages. You lose your life behind as Monster Summoner gets kills, and then the cleanup crew enjoys a set amount of gold. Wimdy will survive, but that's about it, as 4 are dead on Okanagan.
Well, you know what? Zuria said, gimme, gimme, gimme. They gave 2, and they took 10 away from Zuria.
Jeez.
That was almost fully stacked Wimdy. Just pulling out Flyback a little bit, and hey, you know what? That's one person Flyback can't really threaten.
Well, you say that, but it's going to be low. Pinned against the wall, though. Pinned against the wall, and an arrow from Japoki granting that kill to the much-needed carry. The rundown should get Killering as they are out of mana. I really don't think there's anything else. Final arrow goes, and then an auto attack will take it. 4, 2, and 3. As Odinshawn on the other side is just breaking down turrets.
Yo, bro, that's right. I said it. Wimdy ain't scared of Flyback. No caster curses tonight. Only caster calls. That Poppy. Wimdy is actually looking at the powerhouse between Wimdy and Chipoki. There are ways for Okanagan to actually come back into this and to win fights. The big problem so far isn't the threat of Flyback, it's Zuria. Because if Zuria looks at Chipoki funny, Chipoki dies. We saw that Archer of Flame was right there, and there was nothing they could do. Z-Struck can be right there, and there's nothing they can do to protect that critical AD carry.
And the fact that we're seeing pings going down mean Okanagan have to be aware of this fact as well. They have to keep Chipoki alive and very, very safe. With the Baron being started up, Monster Summoner is actually taking to about 50%. Can we get a tank in there? I'm not sure you actually want to be in this state. They have to get that. So Odinshawn took a little bit of a route to get to this Baron. So if they're able to find it, that's an opportunity. However, Baron is going down very, very quickly. Wall goes up as Wimdy is cut off, and Baron is destroyed in a matter of seconds.
And unfortunately, they needed some other threat.
Wimby had to flash away. That feels bad. Like, having to pay with your flash as well, just watching the bear go down, it's just like that little nag in the side.
Salt onto the wound, insult to injury. Yeah, unfortunately for Wimby, they had the Keeper's Verdict ready to go as well. If there was big enemy there, if there was a chance for a steal, I think they'd have pulled the trigger on it. But there wasn't. And now Oklahoma, again, in a great position. 8,000 gold up. Not quite at the 10k position just yet, but look at how few turrets are left. 1 turret for Okanagan outside their base. Their mid inhibitor already down in Oklahoma. They're gonna look to siege up. And unlike a traditional siege, they're not looking to poke down. They're looking to find a pick, get a kill, and then force the fight.
Like that.
Yep.
Like that. That's all it is. Just Zarya saying, you took my stack before, I'm going to try and take it back. Big enemy, though, does find the Anivia. It's only Anivia, though, and Flyback is going to try and fight back. This is going to be the chase. They do get the knockup again, and you go into the Astral Form, but, I mean, Flyback is going to snap back, I think. No, that was a flash. I lied. They're going to keep chasing. There's the Astral Form, and it's still going to be a knockup. You get a sweep. That should be a W to come out. Massive shield. I said that was going to happen, and it did. As you said, caster calls all the way around. It will be a 1-for-1 as Windy now gets chased out. A TP on the back end, though, will end the life of many. As Monster Summoner brings the whip, the pain, the cat o' nine tails will fly. Z-Struck trying to run their way away, but you can't get away from the dash. Odin Sean just doing their own thing, playing PvE, and now Archer is in a whole mess. Water about to be doused on their flame, flashing away. Zarya says, gimme those stacks. Ace for Oklahoma University as the 25 stacks has been completed.
5 seconds on Fake Enemy. Is this enough to close out? I think it is, because Japoki 8 coming up for 10 seconds with the demolished proc as well. It's all down. Fake Enemy, one last chance for glory.
Oh, they want it. Come on. At least take that away. I don't think it's going to happen. Flash forward. Zarya lives. Zarya lives. Oh, no. Oh, no. Finish. There it is. Zarya finishes 11-2-2. And Oklahoma move up the bracket.
And I want to highlight, Zarya ends with the full completed book. 25 stacks as well. What a game. What a showing from Oklahoma University. They looked so clean. And this blood